Ooh-wee, is it good to be back with all you toasters and moshers. I'm Charles, and this is Riffs and Spliffs. Hello, and thank you again for joining me tonight on another Riffs and Spliffs podcast installment. I got a really nice one, chill one for you guys tonight. We're going to be covering in our cannabis education section some Key Lime Chem, and as we make it to our music appreciation section, we will be covering Grindcore Michigan favorites. See you next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah!
As we light up our spliffs, bong, bowls, chillums, one-hitters, what have you, I just want to give you toasters and moshers a little bit of a disclaimer for this one. Not going to be a very long one. This will probably be the shortest one, as you'll see from the timestamp. But I just wanted to go ahead and give you that little bit of pop radio. Sliding into this cannabis education section in Key Lime Chem, we see that this is again another fairly new strain from the cultivator Cresco Labs, which is out of Illinois, here in the state I reside in. Being a fairly newer strain, again, not gonna have a ton of information or stats about the flowers or as much as its origin. I apologize if things ever come out more. I'll always make a point maybe to go back and take a look at these strains that I've covered in these earlier episodes and maybe find and see if they end up coming out with a little bit more history, a little bit more tidbits of information. Share it with you guys. What do you think? Let me know. They classify this as an indica-dominant hybrid, as a 60-40 split. Me, personally, when I smoke it, I get about a 50-50. I kind of feel it all over and pretty much evenly. And this one doesn't really knock you out, though, or make you couch-like. I mean, if you smoke, bong after bong, bowl after bowl, of course, because it is indica dominant for the most part, but I digress. It makes you very comfy. It puts you in the right place you need to be in if you just want to have a nice cozy night in and watch some movies, play some music, fandangle your balls, I don't know, whatever you're into.
I can do what I want, bitch. Yeah, I have sex and I don't use protection. It's my hot body. I'll do what I want. I don't go to school and I kill people. Whatever, I do what I want.
When we look at our most commonly found terpenes for Key Lime Chem, off the bat, and my number one favorite, we're going to see terpinolene. Coming in next after that, we're going to have some beta-caryophyllene. After that, we're going to see limonene sliding in as third, which you would hope that there would be some kind of limonene, given that Key Lime Chem is the strain and lime is within the name. When I went to do some looking around as far as a THC range average, couldn't really find one for you guys. Again, I apologize. I probably always will. That's the type of person I am. I apologize. I know you people out there who apologize for everything understand what I'm talking about, so go mental illness, am I right? Anywho, from my personal package, though, I can tell you guys that as far as THCA, I got about 0.38% coming in. As far as the THC as a general sense, you know what, guys?
Strike that. Reverse it.
I have 23.17% THCA, and then I have just 0.38% THC. As far as CBD, anything, nothing, zero, zilch.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Most common and notable flavors you can expect when smoking this Key Lime Chem is citrusy and that limey. And then you got slight earthy and woodsy undertones, and that's going to come out of our beta-caryophyllene. As far as most common effects you can expect out of this, Expect to feel calm and relaxed, hence that indica goodness. You could feel slightly focused and some uplifting and social benefits. Other most common and potential benefits you could expect coming from that calm and relaxed from the caryophyllene. That's going to be stress and anxiety help. A little insomnia coming from that caryophyllene as well, and the limonene. And also some mild pain relief, which is, again, the caryophyllene. And a lot of the limonene as well, because the caryophyllene specifically is a big help for anti-inflammatory stuff. Smoking along through our cannabis education section, we're going to come to that last little ditty with our lineage breakdown. This lineage is actually probably the most clean-cut and easiest one as of yet, Toasters and Moshers. When we break down Key Lime Chem, we are going to see that it is a cross between Chem number 4 and Stardog. Now, I've never had Chem number 4, but I've had Stardog a couple times when I was living in Colorado for a short amount of time, and Stardog is one of those ones that you honestly see Stardog crossed, or I should say, crossed with other strains to make a lot of hybrids. You see it, in lineage pretty often. But if you can get that in itself, you're in for quite a treat. Looking a little further into this breakdown, when I was looking into Chem number 4's lineage, I could not find anything. So I apologize to disappoint you guys.
We got your favorite thing, disappointment.
I was a little disappointed myself, but again, this is a newer strain. Not sure if Chem number 4 itself is a newer strain. As always, please, guys, if you can ever inform me on anything that you might know, or if you can find the research yourself, please share it. I'm always open to having that information. Please, this is a community. This is what we're here for. Let's help each other out, guys. Lastly, looking at that Stardog lineage, we are going to see that coming out to be a cross of Chem Dog number 4. And again, we see Trace Dog being crossed with this strain. Alright, gang, now that we've gotten quite a bit toasty at this point, let's make our way hardcore dancing into our music appreciation section, where we are going to be discussing and looking into Grindcore fanatics. See you next Tuesday. See You Next Tuesday was first founded and came on the scene in 2004 out of Bay City, Michigan. Whoop whoop. Go Michigan.
Whoop, whoop.
As far as it's known, they are currently operating band. I've seen that they've played a couple one-off shows, and actually a couple days before I had recorded this podcast, they announced that they were going to be playing a show later this year in Bay City, Michigan. Until I found out that it was a 5.5-hour drive, I was all about it, but I have a kid and other shit I gotta do, and it fucking sucks. That's okay, because that's what happens when you become a parent sometimes, and I'm alright with that. I love my little guy. Unfortunately, because of some financial and personal factors with some of the members of the band, See You Next Tuesday saw a hiatus from 2009 until 2015 when they started making those one-off appearances. Pretty sure they played a festival or two as well. Speaking of, they marked their return in 2015 with the announcement that they will be playing that year's Don't Call It a Fest 2. As far as a genre for these dudes, you can expect some grindcore with some slight deathcore influence. Deathcore because they have breakdowns for sure. Other than those few breakdown sections in the albums, they're pretty much just straight grind, and they're just so chaotic and in your face and spastic, so I wouldn't say so much deathcore. Taking a little ripski of the original lineup here, we could see on vocals at the time they started, we had Brandon Bear Schroeder, and then we had Drew Slavic and Adam Karpinski as the guitarists. We look at Adam Payne on the bass, and we have Andy Dalton on the drums. Not many changes in this band at all. Maybe just a couple throughout their short career span, but it seemed like for the most part they had the same drummer and the same guitarist. We see that when we actually look at their current lineup, except now we see them with a different vocalist, and that's going to be Chris Fox. We still see Drew Slavic on guitar, but now we have him as the single guitarist, and we see Rick Woods on bass, but still Andy Dalton on the drums. Having started this band as a joke band, and when I first heard them, I definitely thought the same thing and didn't think this was even music because I was naive and young and stupid. But yes, they started as a joke band, but after having local shows go pretty well for them, that's when they started to take it seriously. And in 2007, only 3 years... Why did I say it like that? What the fuck? In 2007, only 3 short years after the band formed, the original vocalist Bear unfortunately had to step away due to personal health reasons involving his lungs. Essentially, they were only working at half the capacity that they should have been. He was warned once before the band went out touring, and his doctor said, you shouldn't be doing this. He went on and did it anyway, ended up messing up his lungs, and ultimately, led him to having to ditch the band. With the addition of their new vocalist Fox, though, the band eventually was picked up / signed to Ferret Records and set to release their debut album, Parasite. Peeking into the discography now, we see a very, 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 very small discography. Only 2 full-length albums, and then we have 1 very small EP that they did with their original vocalist, and then a small solo sampler. And in that order, as far as the discography is concerned, we see This Was a Tragedy, which was released in 2004. That was going to be their first release. Bear was still on that. And then only a year later, they created Summer Sampler, and that is when we get our first listens into the songs A Portable Death Ray and Sterile Clawhammer, 8 Dead 9 if you count the fetus, and Here Take This Pill. Bear having left shortly after that Summer Sampler, we see 2 years later in 2007 the drop of their first full-length Parasite and the debut of that new vocalist Fox. We will also see on Parasite redone versions of the 3 previous songs I had mentioned. We got a sneak peek of on the Summer Sampler, and I'll tell you, I'll include a little clip right here for you. Now that you know what it's like to have your insides ripped out, we see that they only have 1 more release after this, only a year after Parasite is done, and that is going to be their second full-length, Intervals. Obviously, the ranking for this was, because again, I don't include EPs, although I do love Bear, and honorable mention to him. His vocals honestly taught me how to do inhales and weird shit like that. Again, I only look into the full lengths. And that being said, easy peasy. I'm going to tell you guys I have the first one, Parasite, coming in at number 1 and Intervals at number 2. The reason being, I feel like even though Intervals is very mature sounding, and on Parasite you could still tell they were kind of like a jokish band, the production and the guitar tones added with the production, I feel I can for the most part distinct and make out what's going on, but I just feel like I have to concentrate a lot more with Intervals than I do with Parasite. I do love the more straightforward kind of punky aspect they throw into Intervals, but Parasite just has some shit on it that I wouldn't even think about doing with a guitar. Or again, there's some whammy shit like with Tony Danza, and I just
fuck that.
I'm not gonna touch a whammy. That shit's for Pee Wee Herman.
It's simple. Whoever returns the bike is obviously the person who stole it, so they don't deserve any reward.
That was a bad joke. Anyway, Parasite, overall, the guitar tones are great. The bass parts on that album are fantastic. Very out of this world. Lots of cool tapping. I like how short of an album it is as well. It's only about, I think it comes in at a little under 15 minutes. And, when I want to get a quick heaping help of want to beat someone's ass, I just throw on Parasite and I can listen to it on a quick drive. It's just, and to me, it's a little bit more inventive. I love the wackiness of it. All in all, Intervals and Parasite are both just very good albums. And this band, I wish they would do more. It's unfortunate that they haven't done more, put out more music, but you never know. Anything is possible, right, guys?
That's improbable, but not impossible.
Not too much in the way of interesting facts for these gentlemen as well. They're, small band. What can I tell you? If you wanted popularity and tons and tons and tons and tons of content, you're listening to the wrong podcast. You gotta go find someone to talk about Rod Stewart or some shit. I don't know. Leaving that, the interesting fact I have for you guys is that according to the band, their first release, Parasite, unfortunately had to be re-recorded due to the files being lost in a computer crash. The riff of the week I have to show you guys is going to be the ending breakdown of a song off of their first album, Parasite. And this song is entitled, Before I Die, I'm Gonna Fuck Me a Fish. Just listen to that whammy. Like, how do you do shit like that? I know how you do it, but again, not touching that shit with a 10-foot pole. Now that we got all that chaos out of our system, let's get those chillin' pack guys, because you know what time it is. Our favorite relaxing segment, Chill 'em Out. This week's Chill 'em Out is brought to you by a song I picked called Babylon, and this is going to be by electronic experimental synth artist Daniel Lopatin. Or if you're familiar with this song or his work, then you will know that it is better known from his alias as Weniotrix Point Never. Little fun fact even about this specific song, and maybe I'll include it as a bonus taste, but a little bit after this song came out on the actual album, he did a collaboration version with an artist I really like called Alex G, who's kind of like acoustic experimental oriented. Pretty chill stuff, right, guys? I don't know. I think both renditions are good. OWENED Tricks Point Never's version is good for different reasons, his own style, but I love me again some Alex G. As I wear my Alex G hat recording this podcast, bada bing, bada boom.
Good day to use?
Good day to use.
Huh?
This song is brought to us from his album entitled Age Of, and that was released in 2018, so not too long ago. All in all, Daniel started releasing / writing music as OWENED Tricks Point Never in 2007, so he's been on the track for a while. Check it out if you liked what you heard, guys. As we cash out our pipes, bongs, or what have you, that's going to be it for me, guys. And as always, I appreciate you letting this fall upon your ears. If you want to check the show notes in the description down below, you can find the links to all my social media where you can keep up with all the happenings here on the Riffs and Spliffs podcast. It's going to be Charles over and out. And as always, stay toasty, my friends.